Thanks, guys, for watching Vertical Capital's YouTube page. We get a lot of questions coming through various platforms. One of the questions today is, does anyone lend on subject to property? So let's describe subject to. Elridge, you understand what subject to is? I haven't done that as an investor. I know it's a pretty neat, creative tool.
Yeah.
What's your understanding of subject to? We got to get that out. A lot of maybe our people don't know
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, I haven't bought a property subject to, but I bought a property using seller financing. And it's pretty much structured the same way. The only difference is that subject to you buying a property subject to the existing debt. So, for example, if someone have a house that's worth 200,000 and they have $100,000 in debt on it with a 30-year mortgage, you could buy that property taking over the existing $100,000 of debt with a down payment so the seller could walk away with some cash. And that's the simple definition of it.
Right. So for me, I probably would not lend on subject to. From my understanding, everything is still in place. You think the title still in place?
No, the title transfer
The
was
title
subject to.
transfers
Yeah.
to the new investor.
Yeah.
And then so my thing would be, if you do lend on subject to, you should have the available cash to pay off the first lender.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line, right? And so the risk here is the first lender, hopefully it is a long-term note holder like a Chase or Bank of America. They could call the loan due at any time, but does that happen often in their world? From what I hear, it does not. But as a lender, we wear different hats, right? And so anything that could put our loan at risk, all those things need to be considered. And so again, you're in a position when you lend is about shifting risk. We don't want to take on risk. So it seems like lending on subject to is you're taking on additional risks. But if you can find a way to mitigate those risks, again, that's just something you would have to decide. I personally would not do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you do decide to do it, make sure you come in behind a 30-year fixed loan, not a adjustable loan.
Right.
And that's
Yeah, yeah. It has to be a 30-year fixed loan. Not an adjustable rate loan. That's gonna be crazy.
yeah. Yep.
And you definitely gotta vet. You have to vet what? You'd have to vet the are you vetting both the homeowner, the actual note holder, or I mean the
Yeah,
one
you definitely got to vet the note holder because
and the investor?
you have to vet both, honestly. Because the note holder you have to make sure they current, right? And then the investor, you have to check their credit. I would check, even at Vertical Capital, we don't check credit, but in this situation, I'm checking credit because I need to make sure that they're going to make the payments.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so because if they don't make the payments, now the mortgage company gonna call that loan due or go through a foreclosure or something, and now our money at risk because we're in second lien position. So
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So it's a lot of vetting and requirements to get a loan from any company on a subject to property.
But also what you gotta be mindful of too on subject to, remember there's an existing debt on that. So when you add your debt, you gotta make sure that the combined, it's called CLTV,
Hmm.
the value, you're still looking for your 65%, right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta make sure the equity is still there as well.
Yeah, so you gotta make sure you got that protective equity of 35%. And this is if you're coming in and junior lien and second lien on anything, whether it's subject to the existing mortgage, which is the creative financing way that some investors do, or you just come in behind the homeowner, where there is no middle investor and it's just you and the homeowner saying, hey, I need some additional cash, but I do have an existing mortgage. We definitely want to be making sure that your debt plus their debt is 65% of LTV, and you want to make sure, like Elridge said, you want to make sure that somebody's going to be able to make, because now it's two payments, right? It's the payment to the first mortgage, and then there's a payment to you as the lender.
Yep. And the last thing I want to add to that is make sure if you are lending on subject to properties, make sure you have a servicer to collect the payments and direct those payments to you and also the other lender, the first
So
lender.
explain loan servicer. What are their roles? Because that's also a part of your team that we talk about in some of our videos, or it could be a part of your team that
Yeah.
we talk about that. You want to go into a little
Yeah.
definition?
So pretty much we do all our servicing in-house for our loans, but on complicated deals like this, I would have a servicing company. And pretty much the servicing company would collect the payments and disperse the payments. And that's the simple definition.